First and 4, we're waiting on the clouds to break and the winds to die down, but we still have a fantastic weekend ahead. Find out just how warm it's going to get coming up. Karen?
All right, looking forward to that. Thank you, Ben. Also on your Friday, first at 4, it is the sports betting revolution Detroit casinos have been waiting for, and it could arrive in just days. We will tell you what needs to happen before it's a reality. And with a stroke of a pen, President Trump launches new ammunition against the coronavirus. We'll tell you what that means. Paula.
Well, imagine wandering past the statue in Hart Plaza and going, oh, wait a minute, I'm related to this guy. This is an amazing story of coincidence and history, and you're going to love it. These stories and more are happening right now on Local 4 First at 4.
Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, it does look like Detroit casinos are just days away from launching on-site sports betting. The Michigan Gaming Control Board will meet next Tuesday and is expected to give final approval. Now, if that happens, sports betting could start next Wednesday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. State legislature just approved the idea a few months ago. So coming up at 5, we're going to take a look at how this will play out and get some reaction to this big change here in Michigan. Senator Bernie Sanders is pulling out all the stops to get your support in the Michigan primary. Doors open in just 60 minutes for a rally at the TCF Center in downtown Detroit. But Sanders is facing some counter-programming from Joe Biden. After tonight's rally, Sanders will be in Dearborn on Saturday before heading to Ann Arbor and Grand Rapids. Meantime, Senator Amy Klobuchar is making stops in Detroit and Southfield right now on behalf of former Vice President Joe Biden. Biden is scheduled to come to Detroit himself on Monday, and those details have not been announced yet. All leading up to the Michigan primary. That's Tuesday, March 10th. A 12-year-old boy is in critical condition right now after a car crashes into a semi-truck. This happened in Dearborn. Happened about 4 o'clock in the morning along eastbound I-94 near Schaefer. Police say the boy was a passenger in that car that smashed into the back of the semi-truck trailer. The woman driving the car was also injured. The truck driver wasn't hurt. Investigation continues. Some bad news for Art Van Furniture is some good news for bargain hunters who don't mind a going out of business sale. Final sales have started one day after the longtime Detroit business announced it's closing all of its stores in 6 states. Some bigger locations could remain open 60 to 90 days. Others might close more quickly. So if you do have questions about deliveries or anything else, Art Van says it will be sharing information on its website. Oh, it was a cold and blustery afternoon out there. The question, Ben, are we going to see some improvement as we head into the weekend?
We are, Karen. It does look like that Saturday-Sunday stretch still looks fantastic. The rest of today, though, if you've got plans to be outdoors tonight, if you're heading out to the Red Wings game or going out to dinner, keep this in mind. These wind chills, which are right now in the low to mid-20s, are going into the teens, and that's in the evening hours. Air temperatures just above freezing in a lot of locations. Doesn't look like we're going to see appreciable clearing until we get past midnight, but that sets the table for this. Tons of sunshine as we go into the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. 46 tomorrow, 58 on the high side Sunday. There may be a couple lucky locations that touch 60. We'll look at that in your 4-zone forecast in just minutes. Karen?
All right, thank you, Ben. Now we do have a Local 4 update as a state senator responds to sexual harassment investigation. We did tell you that the state senate found accusations of harassment against Macomb County's Pete Lucido were credible, but investigators admit they could not unequivocally confirm harassment. Lucido seized on that uncertainty and released a statement today saying in part, quote, "Given that I have not sexually harassed anyone, nor were there any citations of a violation of Senate rules determined by the investigation, I look forward to continuing to work on behalf of the people I represent." Lucido was removed as chairman from one legislative committee. The fight against the coronavirus is getting an $8 billion boost after President Trump signed an emergency spending bill. Now, the money will go toward testing, vaccines, and helping state and local governments prepare. The president was supposed to sign that bill at the CDC, but there were some concerns about some sick a sick employee there who eventually tested negative for coronavirus. Kimberly Gill standing by with more of the day's new developments. Kim.
Hi, Karen. Good afternoon. We all know the coronavirus is likely to show up in Michigan at some point, but we have not seen a confirmed case as of yet. Right now, 8 people are waiting for test results, though, here in Michigan. We'll, of course, keep you posted on that. Today, Indiana became the second state that borders Michigan to report a confirmed case after a man got sick in Indianapolis. Eastern Michigan University has told students returning from Italy that they need to self-quarantine for 14 days. There are now more than 98,000 cases worldwide, with 14 reported deaths here in the United States. About 3,500 passengers and crew members are waiting for test results, hoping they'll be able to get off the Grand Princess soon. 45 people are being tested after California's National Guard dropped off kits there by helicopter. The ship is being held off the coast of San Francisco because people got sick after another man who was on a previous cruise died of coronavirus. We'll also keep you posted on those test results as well. So a lot going on, and we also want to tell you about this, Karen. The Dow Jones Industrial Average just can't shake the symptoms of fear and uncertainty as the markets just keep plunging just about every day this week, last week. Even a jobs report that smashed expectations couldn't boost the numbers. The U.S. economy added 273,000 jobs in February, more than twice of what many predicted. And if you take a live look right now at the New York Stock Exchange, the big board on the New York Stock Exchange there, you can see that the Dow is down more than 250 points. It's closing down more than 250 points for the day. During this outbreak, we want to remind you, too, that our own Dr. Frank McGeorge is answering your questions about coronavirus through many of our newscasts. Each report that he does is posted on the Good Health page of our website, clickondetroit.com. You can listen to his expert advice and share with your friends and family. We encourage you to do that. Until then, we'll send it back to you for more news of the day, Karen, in the studio.
All right. Thank you, Kim. Coming up at 5:30, Dr. McGeorge is answering a new question. This one deals with the possible spread of the virus on fresh fruits and vegetables. And at 6, you've probably heard local churches are changing some of their routines. We'll take a closer look at that part of the story at 6 o'clock. If you know the basic history of Detroit, you know that French explorer Antoine Laumet Cadillac is historically identified as the founder. His ancestors knew that history but didn't understand the rich importance of their forefather until visiting last year. Paula Tutman is live with an amazing story of coincidence and discovery that followed. Hi, Paula.
Hey, Karen. So this is extraordinary how this came about. So these young men just happened to be visiting Detroit in December. They saw this statue and they realized, wait a minute, we're related to this guy. So then they just kind of wander up Woodward to the David Whitney building, wander into a gift shop that happens to be run by a local historian. And the rest is history, theirs and ours. These are the descendants of Antoine Laumet Cadillac, the French explorer, historically credited with founding Detroit in 1701. Francois, the patriarch of the Laumet family, flew in from France this morning. He is 10 times removed.
I have no idea whether it looks like him or not.
Grandsons Theo and Jean from Toronto.
We know the story, but not all this important about this family.
But didn't know how much beyond that until a chance meeting with a local historian, Kim Simmons, last December.
Theo said, well, we're LeMays. And I went, okay, and it still wasn't clicking. And he said Cadillac, and I went, oh my goodness.
When she invited them back.
His actual fort would have been just right in that corner there.
We are learning so much about our own history.
Antoine changed his last name to the name of an important village in France.
When our ancestor came to the New World, because Laumet, our family name, was not maybe cool enough, he made up a noble title.
Today, courtesy of Cadillac, they met their history in a car of their ancestors' chosen namesake. Had your great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather kept the name Laumet,
yes,
then you'd be getting in a Laumet Escalade.
Yeah, exactly.
They toured Fort Wayne and saw the pear trees brought from France more than 300 years ago.
This is dated September 17th, 1694.
At the Detroit Library, they saw their ancestor's signature on the line of credit he acquired for his adventure.
I think that's amazing. I didn't know all the story that my father tell me in my bed before going to sleep, I can say that's real. That's something amazing. I really love it.
And learned about the rich history of the Underground Railroad at the Detroit Historical Museum.
Between 25 and 30,000 people crossed the strait that your ancestor named to find freedom on the other side, Canada.
And they experienced the fingerprints of their forefather on the hearts of a people who are joined by a rich shared history.
We love the downtown, we love the people. So proud of being from Detroit and so happy, and we love Detroit.
They're absolutely delightful. They're not international nobility. They're working class folks, just like most of us. So excited to be here. We're excited too, so we actually put some history for you to discover about Detroit on the features page of clickondetroit.com. Karen, this goes down as a favorite story.
Oh, I completely agree. There's just so many tidbits in that story I just love. And it is interesting with the name of Lumet and Cadillac and how that all turned into something, you know?
Yeah, it is. Lots of fun.
Lots of fun. All right. We look forward to sharing that as well on our social media pages. Thanks, Paul.